a lullaby.
Hi, welcome back to Looking at Hollywood. We have a wonderful show today. If you're like me and you love those silent movie classics and swooned over people like Douglas Fairbanks and Rudolph Valentino, well, you must have swooned over a man who was a matinee idol of the silent films. His name is Francis Lederer. He's with us today. He has continued throughout the decades in film and stage. What an interesting life, from Prague to California. And now, eavesdropping with Skippy Lowe. So let's look in on them now.
Francis Lederer, a man of two worlds. I mean, grew up where? Where actually grew up? In Prague, or?
Beg your pardon?
Where did you grow up, actually, as a child?
I grew up in the world.
But as a child?
As a child in Prague.
In Prague. Growing up there?
Yeah.
Memories. You have some early memories back there at this moment?
Well, which kind of millions of memories?
Some great memories, like getting into the business as an actor, say.
As an actor?
When you wanted to be an actor.
Well, I started out as a as an extra man. You see, I started in the theater in Prague as an apprentice in the theater. And gradually, you know, one way the bigger theaters, until I came finally to Berlin, then London, New York, and so.
First theater as an actor in Berlin. Big hit. Went to London, Vienna, matinee idol. First, the very first play. Do you remember the very first play that you starred in Berlin, say?
Romeo.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
I saw that clip. I wish I brought that clip.
You're lucky.
Something happened on stage with the lady on Romeo and Juliet, your lovely leading lady.
Elizabeth Berg.
Right.
But nothing.
Something about nothing with you. You controlled her. I understand that she was drinking. The director fed her some liquor or something.
No.
I saw a clip.
Well,
Someone interviewed
it must have
her.
been water, but no, I don't remember at all that she ever drank.
On stage, I'm talking about. She didn't. No, she wasn't drinking, but something happened with the scene. You don't remember that particular scene? I saw an interview about Berlin, and you were in the interview, and she was, and she explained that.
Well, she drank poison, of course.
Right. In the
Of course, yes.
Anyway, came to London with the show. Big hit.
No, it wasn't. The first show I did was not a big hit. It was a musical called Meet My Sister.
Right.
And it lasted 1 week.
Yeah. Is London?
Yeah.
Then you came. Then what happened?
But it was just an accident. So after the 1 week closing, I went with a friend of mine to the Savoy Hotel, and I went to, pardon expression, the men's room. And going back from the men's room to the dining room, a gentleman stops me and he says, "Now, Mr. Lederer, now that your play is closing, what are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, I suppose I'm going to go to Berlin." And he said, "Are you in a hurry?" I said, "No, I'm not. Can you wait until Thursday?" Sure. So I have a play that a lady has written by the name of Anthony, and there would be a leading part would be just right for you. So can you wait until Thursday? So I waited, and I spoke to the producer and director, and that's how I got to play in English in London.
And that's how it began. Big hit. Became one of the matinee idols.
I didn't even know what that expression meant.
You didn't know?
No.
But you arrived in America, you knew then.
Yes, but not in London. I know on matinee idol.
Arrived in London, from London to America in Broadway. What show was that?
It was Autumn Crocus, the same play that helped me in London.
It did. That's who's in that with you? Do you remember?
In London?
No, here in New York on Broadway.
It was Dorothy Gish.
Dorothy Gish, that's right.
And
That's
Angel.
Lillian's sister, isn't it?
Oh.
Lillian's sister,
Gish,
yeah.
sister, yes.
An Angel.
Was he? You did some silent movies back, though.
Yeah, that was in Berlin.
In Berlin. What were some of the silent movies?
Well, there was a Let me dig. Well, I did Buxer of Pandora, then all kinds of, I can't
But the
remember.
one I loved is with that lady, the silent lady. I saw a clip on her, too.
You saw everything.
I saw this particular clip, the silent movie you did. I wish I brought that today, darn it. Then came to New York. Then you went to RKO. Something happened. RKO signed you up immediately to come to Hollywood.
Yes, after the opening in New York, they signed me up to RKO.
Signed you up immediately. First film in America. What was the very first?
It was called Man of Two Worlds. I was Eskimo. Yes.
Man, really? And then from what happened from there?
Well, then I did Romance in Manhattan and all kinds of plays. And I was
working with Claudette Colbert. You worked with her.
Yes.
And a wonderful film called Manhattan, is it? Or
no,
Matinee?
Midnight.
Midnight.
Yeah.
Tell me about that movie. Who was also in that film?
Well, it was Don Amici. He played the big role, and all kinds of very good actors and actresses.
Going back, Max Reinhardt. You worked with this great man.
Well, darling, he was the one who directed Romeo and Juliet in Berlin with Elizabeth Bergner.
That's right. But something happened. That's what I said. But Max Reinhardt gave her some liquor in her coffee on the stage, and you can't remember that scene?
No, I don't.
She just but she told me you controlled her on stage.
No.
Yes, she did.
No.
Yes. It was an
no
interview.
man could ever control a woman. You're naive.
I like
That was a big hit in Berlin.
You mean Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a very good play.
Max Reinhardt, tell me about him. Tell me more about him.
A genius, and...
You're using the word genius. What do you mean, a genius? Tell me more about it.
Well, unless you consider yourself to be a genius...
No, I don't.
No, you don't? You're too modest. Well, may I give you a definition of genius?
Yes.
A genius is a person who doesn't know what they are doing.
Oh, okay.
It comes...
Naturally.
Yes, comes naturally. There's in Boston, the university had research done on the creative mind.
Right.
And there was a definition of genius, and they interviewed many real geniuses of what it is, and all of them said, I don't know, it just comes to me.
Lederer, Dracula, The Return of Dracula. Today the kids
You
love that movie.
No. If there's one thing I hated, it was that.
You hated that film?
Of course, because I tell you, I was tricked into it.
Oh, you were tricked into it.
Yes,
what happened?
My agent sent me to this company, and they talked about, and I said, no, look here, no, but Francis, we're going to make fun of it. This is not, you're not going to play Dracula, you just make fun of it. But they didn't have a script. Stupidly I accepted, and more it came. It was the same as everything else before Dracula, and so I became Dracula. And many times it brings up, and I just, if there was
You don't like that?
If there
But
was
it's a big hit. The kids.
If there was a death penalty on murder, I would have committed all of those who liked that picture.
The cult following. You have a great cult following. The kids love it. The Return of Dracula. And you ever see it?
Oh, yeah.
The kids love it today. They
Don't
love
believe it. Don't.
Yes.
I didn't mention it.
Lederer, you did Gay Deception. What a great movie that is.
Yeah, that was charming.
With
That was
Joel
charming.
McRae's wife, Frances D.
Frances D. Yeah.
Oh, what a lovely lady.
I should say.
Joel McRae, they were married. Were they married at the time when you did this film?
No. No.
It's called Gay Deception. You did this at RKO? Was it RKO?
That's right.
You did how many films at RKO? You did a lot of films there.
Yeah.
A lot.
It didn't. The
What kind of studio was it?
last, but
What kind of studio was
RKO.
RKO? But what kind of studio?
Well,
the heads of the studio and how they
it was,
treat the stars.
You know, Mr. Hughes had started this studio, and there's some excellent people who writers, producers, directors, and
Right. We had good writers those days.
Oh, yes,
We
of
don't
course.
have writers today.
Oh,
Francis.
yes. Oh, yes.
Francis, look at me. You're saying yes. Do we really have good writers today for films? You think so?
Well, absolutely, absolutely. I do.
You do?
I tell you, Hollywood has not changed at all to the worst. I think it's better now than ever.
Really? Because you've been here all these years. You would know.
Since 32. Yeah,
Wow.
since 33.
And you don't think there has been a change for the worse?
No, absolutely not. Because you see, television particularly has changed the whole making of pictures tremendously. I think
Right.
that has been a blessing to making motion pictures. Everything now is better and better and better.
Interesting.
Walking down Hollywood. Yeah, he's lived here. I don't know. Let's see the clip from Gay Deception with
Oh, that's a great
Francis
clip.
D. Let's show
They're
it.
gonna
Okay?
love it.
Let's show it, Annie. Thanks.
No, his face is very familiar. I feel sure we met before somewhere.
Didn't even know you.
Well, it was a long time ago. Years and years, probably.
Will you eat that?
Oh, I beg your pardon.
I hope you don't like me any the less because I'm Prince.
Prince.
It's not my fault. I was born that way.
You should see how funny you look with that glass eye. Oh, Your Highness, how does Your Highness like America, Your Highness?
America, it's a wonderful country. You just have to reach out and take whatever you need.
Is that how you got those clothes? Did you kick me, Your Highness?
Oh, I am so sorry, Your Highness. Excuse me.
Oh, it doesn't matter. The more the merrier. The way I should be much worse.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Oh, I hear Your Highness is an excellent dancer.
Excellent. I got this medal for my dancing.
I know where you got that medal.
Oh, I should be delighted. Come on, let's dance.
That was wonderful, wasn't it?
Wasn't it great?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that was great. Francis Lederer, what has been the highest point in your career? What has been the high point in your career? Sticks in your mind?
There were so many.
Really? There's been that many.
Yeah.
There's not one that sticks in your mind that's... Has Francis Lederer enjoyed life in all these years?
Now
Okay.
you're talking not about pictures.
No, we're talking about you, Francis.
Life, well, I tell you, there are too many things that bother me.
Really?
Yes. Not the whole picture of the world, you know.
Uh-huh. Like what? Give us an example.
Like the possibility of war.
So this...
And I'm the kind of a guy who doesn't just sit back. In 1937, I think, I started an organization for world peace called World Peace Federation. And since then, I've done many, many things. So if you ask me if I enjoy life, those are the things that are...
Well, what is your philosophy in life, then?
My philosophy in life is that the good people should take the government of the world in hand.
Mm-hmm. What's the best advice that you could give young actors? Because you are teaching now. You've been teaching for many years. What is the best advice you can give young actors?
The best advice to give young actors is the fact to learn indefatigably, constantly. It is such a difficult, really difficult profession, and that is important to know how to overcome those difficulties.
Difficulties. It is difficult. Have you overcome these difficulties in your early age?
I didn't overcome them, but I know they exist. First of all, you see, the basic thing about, I mean, of course, we have to differentiate between singers, between dancers, between actors, directors.
But they're still entertainers. They're still out there entertaining. So how could you just point one? A singer is also an actress. Comedian is also an actor.
Of course.
So
you're right. You're right.
I mean, no, I'm not right. I'm just explaining.
You are right.
Francis, you're easy.
No.
That's why I work so much.
But to come back about the most important thing to realize for an actor
Right.
is to realize that an actor has got to pretend that whatever he says, that it is an expression of a thought in his mind, and that thought actually is only a transference from the writer
Right.
that an actor has got to carry out.
To the audience.
That's right.
Absolutely. You're teaching. Tell me about your teaching. You've been teaching for years here. You have...
Since 1957.
You've... Annie, he started this organization, this theater of...
No, it's the American National Academy.
Tell me more about that. It's here in Hollywood. You make lectures there 3 times a week?
No, we have it's a regular school.
It is a regular school.
We teach ballet, modern jazz, tap dancing, singing, acting, anything that
so
belongs to
you founded the school in the 50s. So all the young kids come from all over the world?
Not only young kids.
No.
Look at me.
No,
we have anything from the age of 3 to 80.
Uh-huh. Some of the people that come out of your school, some of this, anyone sticks in your mind that made
I couldn't say
50s?
particularly. No, we have one girl that was in the first row already. She became a star. No, I couldn't.
What was your life during the war, Francis Lederer?
Who did your...
During the war, was it tough? You grew up back in the war days. You were here, right? During the war.
The Second War, I was here.
You were here as an actor, one of the matinee idols during the war.
Yeah. Don't use that title.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
As an actor, what has been the hardest for Francis Lederer in your life?
Are you talking about life or acting in my
Hardest,
profession?
just for you. I'm talking about Francis Lederer, not just
Not to have achieved by far what I would like to.
What would you like to achieve?
Change the world.
You're 93 years old. 93, Francis. You're sitting here telling me you want to achieve more. You work a lot. You get up. What's your day like?
Well,
what time do you get up?
It varies. I don't know. It varies. I don't have a discipline to say 6.
Is your secret because it's not a secret? Is it because you're vital? You walk. You do. You think. You do. You're very 93.
He's the handsomest 93 I've ever seen.
Is he the handsomest?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Francis, what is your day like? What time of the day do you get up? What do you do? How do you live?
Every time I wake up, I consider the things I have to do, and I do them.
Why do you keep yourself busy?
Because I cannot help it.
That is you. That's the secret. That is the secret. What has been the happiest memory for you?
Perhaps meeting my wife.
Oh.
You're married. How many years?
53.
53. How nice.
That's great.
Lovely Marilyn. Marion. 53. What a lovely... Where did you meet her?
In Toronto.
Toronto, Canada.
Yeah.
Were you doing a play there at the time?
Yes, and she came backstage in the intermission.
Uh-huh. And that's what happened? Fell in love right away?
Not right. It took a long time, but that's where it started.
Uh-huh. Tell me about Claudette Colbert working with this great lady.
Who?
Claudette Colbert. Working with her. I love her. She's so great.
I think she was a thorough professional. Thorough professional, I mean, she, you know, there are actresses who come on the stage, she's supposed to be there at 9 o'clock, and they come, and so they go to the dresser, and they are not ready until 9:30 or something.
Right.
No, she was the thorough professional, always ready, always knowing the dialogue, and doing exactly what the director told her to do.
What's some of the famous directors that you enjoy working with, Francis Lederer? Some of the famous directors that you enjoy working with, or unfamous. Who did you enjoy working with the most?
Which director?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I always consider the director the one person who really knows how I should do it. And I adore directors. I admire them tremendously.
You direct, you've, a matter of fact, you direct a TV, I think a television thing. You had a TV
I was
theater.
At one, oh yes, I directed a tremendous amount of plays.
Plays, but theater.
Motion picture.
But a TV series. You directed 77 Sunset,
also,
I
yeah,
think.
something, yeah,
You did that.
Ed Byrne?
Yes, he said 77 Sunset. Tell me about that. How do
You should know.
Francis Lederer. So you've done that. You started the theater for TV, for the theater.
That's
First, he found it.
He's a dangerous man. He knows
He knows more than you think.
He founded the theater for television, the first dramatic shows on TV.
Oh, really?
He's the founder.
In the
He is-
50s?
That's right.
Well,
No.
we had a very,
Tell me about that.
we had a marvelous sponsor who wanted that, and so we did it.
You did crafts, all the
That's right.
DuPonts. I mean, he did all these great...
History, the
Yeah,
history.
Tell me about the Crafts Theater. Tell me about these things.
Well, they were as nice as you are.
Oh, come on, Francis.
Yes, I mean, it is very difficult, you know. The most difficult thing I would say in life,
What has been? Yeah, go ahead.
in life as in the profession, is to, and in marriage, I would say, is to find equal thinking people.
Equal thinking people.
That's right. Now, what do you think is the reason for so many broken marriages? Is because the differences that exist between the parties.
Right.
And so the most desirable thing is to find people who think the same, have the same taste, and believe in the same things.
Does your
What
wife...
happened to opposites attract?
Does
What
your-
happened to opposites
Oh, it's
attract?
the worst. Whoever invented it should be hanged.
I think the same
Should
person
be
that invented
hanged
Matinee
because
Idol.
Opposites attract them. None. That's the worst. That's the worst.
Is it
thing.
really?
Of course. Of course.
So you
now, what
believe-
is the reason for people disagreements?
So your wife and you get along beautifully?
I
You're
wouldn't
very
say
much,
beautifully, but the attempt is there.
The attempt. I see. Have you ever turned down a part that you regret it later, Francis?
Oh yes, and I regretted it very much.
Really?
No, the one thing is the Dracula. But then
Because of the director? Is that why?
No, because of the ignorance of the script. The people told me, well, Francis, I said, well, but we'll do it long.
Uh-huh. So you direct still? You're still directing
Of
at 93 years old? You're still, I mean, Francis.
What has that got to
That's
do
called
with it?
39 and holding.
Okay, 39. My God, that's a beautiful age. I can't believe it. I'm looking at you. You're looking
And
just
excuse me,
wonderful.
a very impertinent question. How old are you?
I'm in my 60s.
Well, you're like...
You look wonderful. I know, I look like
Yes,
you
I
look wonderful.
You're a little young boy.
Francis, looking back, are you writing a book about your life?
No, I don't have the time for that.
You don't have the time to write?
No. I was asked many times about those writings, but I just don't have the time.
Do you keep memoirs, little notes in your memories, little papers?
No, I always new projects.
Uh-huh.
Yes, projects.
Why do you keep yourself so busy with these different projects and not with a nice...
I cannot help it, dear.
I understand. Ellen Raines. You worked with this lovely lady, Ella Raines. Love this actress. Do you remember Ella Raines? A wonderful actress. Tell me about Ella Raines.
Excuse me, in which picture?
Ella Raines, wasn't she? Oh, I think she was in Dracula with you, wasn't she? Oh, let's get back to Dracula. Okay, we won't talk about Dracula.
This is going to be Dracula Part 2 for
Ben
him.
Casey, okay, let's get on. You did Ben Casey, too, The Untouchables, Ben Casey.
Wow.
You've appeared in many, many television shows. All characters, all kinds of things you do.
And yet...
Still working.
Still not enough.
Not enough. So you didn't tell me your day of time you get up in the morning. I like to know. You didn't tell me that. I want to know
Well,
what
3
Francis
o'clock,
Lederer
2
gets up
o'clock, 4 o'clock, it changes all the time.
In the morning?
When I wake
2 in the
up,
morning?
Of course.
You get up
of
at 2 in
course.
the morning?
Of course.
And what does Francis Lederer do at 2 in the morning? After you
What
get all
he
your...
has to do.
You go to work at 2, 3 in the morning, Francis?
Not work. Do you call somebody writing something down at work? That's not a work.
Uh-huh. So you enjoyed your life. Would you say you had a good time, Francis?
No. No, I wouldn't say good, because of the difference between what I want and what I have achieved.
What do you want?
I want primarily for the world to grow up to that realization that it is absolutely possible that it can be changed to what it should be instead what it is.
So Francis Lederer is a little concerned man out there. He's a man who's concerned with the world. What's happening in the news, what the world is all about. You're concerned for the human beings.
Because all that is, can you imagine that 2 or 3 people are responsible in the history of mankind? Mostly 2 or 3 people, mostly one person,
Right.
responsible for the life of millions of dead people, Napoleon, Hitler, and so on and so forth. Can you imagine the absurdity of the situation?
What do you think is going to happen? Our world is very violent today. What do you think is going to happen, Francis?
I'm not a prophet, I wouldn't know.
But what's your feeling is like? Because you've lived, you've tasted life. What does Francis Lederer thinks what's going to happen out there in this world today?
As I
It's so
say, I
violent.
wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what is going to happen. I
What
wish
do you, go ahead.
what should happen.
You're helping it to not to
What
happen.
should happen, you know. Exactly after the Second World War, there was a United Nations. Of course, that is the,
Right.
I would say, that is the ultimate goal of the world, the United Nations.
So Francis Lederer is a man of concern. Do you believe in fate? In fate.
You mean it's unalterable? No, I believe that.
So it's going to happen, it's going to happen?
No, just a minute. The man is there's something, the man is the maker of his fate.
A man is maker of his fate. So it's up to a man to make his own fate.
That's right.
I believe that too. That is my belief. That is my belief also. I believe you go out there and you make your own fate. It happens. People just let things happen that it's going to happen. It doesn't do that. It just doesn't work that way.
Yes, work. You see, I tell this to the people at the academy. I say, work is the answer to everything. Now you see, I say, for instance, you see Shirley Maclaine.
Right.
Terrific. No, I was in a show with her.
What show were you in?
It was the Sleeping Prince.
Ah, okay.
And you have no idea how this girl works.
Shirley Maclaine.
Yes, of course. Besides scenes or something like that, she comes early in the afternoon, or nothing, or Domingo.
Is she?
Nothing comes by itself.
It doesn't.
No.
You got to go out there and work
No,
for it.
no.
Absolutely, I believe that in life.
Now look at yourself. You have a fantastic career.
No, I just.
Oh, yes.
It has just begun for him too, Francis.
Francis Lederer. Any regrets in life?
The show.
Millions.
That's it.
Millions.
Any regrets,
millions,
Francis?
millions.
Like what? Give an example.
The greatest regret is myself.
Greatest regret. Oh,
Yes, I wish I was different.
so you don't like yourself then? You're
No,
saying,
no.